Hola and welcome to Daniel's Tips. We're putting some sense in your tip jar. Welcome today. Today you're joined by me, Daniel, and we are going to be painting this night and day scene. So let's get on into this and paint this scene. I start out here with placing some measurements where like the horizon line is and where the middle of the page is, starting out with just jotting down where that tree lays and then moving into where the character goes. Now, this is an interesting scene that I found on pixabay.com. And it's one way to show the difference between day and night. I was looking at possibly trying to do it myself in a way, get an image and kind of see what it looks like at day, what it looks like at night. I could possibly do that myself, take a day photo somewhere of something, and then take a night photo of the same image. It would be challenging to kind of do myself because you got to get the photo in the same spot for it to look, exactly the same. You can try and trick it maybe, but yeah, for this I found this interesting image, and from here I just try and get this pose kind of going right, try and get this the tree stump there that he's pulling, the tree, you know, just trying to place everything in slightly. And from here I start to paint kind of the differences that I see, the light colors versus the very dull dark colors that you see at nighttime. So I paint those down, jot those down. I still got my drawing kind of vaguely there. But it's in another layer, so I can always bring it up if I need it. I kind of do the background, and slowly bring the character back as well, and then kind of repaint the tree. I got the gestural of it before, and now I'm doing the kind of final bits and pieces of the tree, of where it goes, painting it in the daytime first, and then kind of using that, what I get from the daytime to kind of paint it in the nighttime scene. It's very different because in the daytime it's got heaps of leaves, it's very bushy. And in the nighttime, it looks like I don't see as many leaves. At least it looks like that it actually is kind of not as many leaves, like they've fallen off or something, but it could be the lighting situation that you don't see as many leaves at night. But it really does look kind of deserty, the scene as well. There's not as much grass, so there is a little difference there, where there are differences in the scene as well, that it not only kind of feels like night, but it also looks a little bit different, like a deserty scene. There's not as much grass there. So it's interesting. It's not exactly the same photo on the other side, or the same image, same scenery, but it's still really helpful to do this, to paint something night and to paint something day. It's something I'll be doing a little bit more, I think. This is an interesting scene. I thought it was fun that the kind of tree stumps turning into daytime. One side's nighttime is kind of moving into it. So I thought that was a little bit fun, like he's pulling nighttime into daytime kind of a scene. It reminds me of kind of some children's books, like an NZ one is Maui and the Sun. And I think there was kind of a scene where he pulls the sun to make nighttime. I can't fully remember. I got to look it up. You got to look it up to find the image, but it's something like similar that happens to this, where it's like nighttime and daytime, which is interesting to see, and it's fun to play around with. It's definitely, learning curve, and it helps you, capture anything, um, in a way. So I think I've learned, a bit on the lighting situation, how to kind of paint things at nighttime, and that's something I've been challenged with for years now. With some of the paintings I've had to do have been at nighttime, and the first thing is just make it darker, um, where that's not always true, because you've got some elements at nighttime that you can see, um, and you've also still have lighting at nighttime. You still have the moon, um, so how that affects your surrounding area and things like that. Um, and you've also got night lights or lamps, other things lighting up the sky. You can't see that daytime, can't see like lights and things like that usually. You can vaguely see lights at daytime, but they're not as bright because everything around it is bright. And also, you have really warm colors at daytime, and on the left side, really cool colors as well, trying to portray that nighttime. Um, it was challenging, and this painting isn't exactly, nicely painted, as in like all clean and crisp, you know. I wasn't too worried about that. It would have took hours to make it clean and crisp. This was only a 90-minute art challenge, so I did it within 90 minutes. It was more about the learning, and that's what's important, especially doing things like this. Just doing it for learning, and that's why I do kind of these 90 minutes. They aren't there to produce a great piece that I show everyone. I don't even post these to Instagram. I just share it with you guys and show you kind of my process and how I do things. Um, um, right there, I just used an overlay layer to darken it up, and same with the daytime layer. I lightened it up on that side. Just because I don't think I was hitting the marks of how dark to go and how light to go, and I didn't want to repaint it all that color, and that's what I did. I think it worked quite well. But I still obviously use it, these tools like overlay and things like that. But you still have to kind of paint on top of them. Maybe you might need to erase some of the effects of that layer. It's not finished when you use these tools. They are just there to help guide you and help to set your painting or set your creation in the right direction. But yeah, I was just saying these aren't final paintings. These, yeah, are just fun and learning, share with you what I learn, the things I'm thinking about while I'm painting, and feel free to attempt this yourself. I'm looking at possibly doing another one where I do take a photo during the day and then I take a photo at night of something, and kind of paint the same scene, or try and recreate this in a way, so that I have an interesting day and night scene like this one, but maybe a little bit different. I won't be pulling anything basically. So yeah, this has always been, always fun to do. Like I sit down, it takes me 90 minutes to do. So, I don't spend all the time in the world on it, but I think that's enough time to kind of get the gist of the image down, to kind of experiment, to play around a little bit. And not, you get the gist of a little, basically within that 90 minutes, you get the main parts of that image done. It's not enough time to render the heck out of everything and make everything perfect and awesome, but it's enough time to get the gist of it all and get something out of it. Like I said before, I'm not trying to get a great image out of it. I'm just trying to get something out of it so that when I'm painting a day scene or a night scene, I can reflect back on this and be like, what's the differences between them and how do I paint it? that it looks like at night, that it looks like the bright sunny day that it is, and I'm painting a scene at the moment, or well, last week, that had a very bright sun. I think this helped a little bit with that. I was looking at um, making more scenes basically that feel like they're at a certain time of day, and that's always helpful. It really makes your scene feel alive when you understand that thing. You know it's either nighttime or daytime. You know what time of day it is. That gives something extra to the scene that you're painting, or the character you're painting, or anything like that. So hopefully you've enjoyed seeing me paint this. You learned something new. Let me know down in the comments your thoughts, your feelings. Keep drawing, keep creating, and see you in the next video.